In this video, we are going to be taking a look at having villagers do all of your farming for you. So right now, dispensers can't actually dispense seeds or carrots or potatoes onto farmland. They can dispense bone meal, but that means that there really isn't a fully automatic farm that you can pull off with redstone. But the trusty villager can step in and fill that gap because they can actually do all of your farming for you with this amazing build. So here we are inside of Minecraft, and these are what we're going to be making today. When you build it yourself, you're actually going to be layering a farm on top of each other. I have it set up in this way just for demonstration purposes to kind of show off the 4 different things that you can have villagers farm for you. So let's just take a look at this carrot farm right here to get an idea of what's going on. Inside of the farm, you have farmland that a farmer villager, because of his composter workstation in the center here, he's going to go around and farm up anything that is fully grown. It looks like we have maybe a few over there, a few over here, and he's going to go over to something that he can farm, and he's actually going to pick it and then replant. So he's going to do all of our farming for us. Looks like, come on, can you not actually do a thing for us live so that people see what you're doing? I'm going to take some bone meal and just kind of... Oh, there we go. I thought that these were all full, but they're not. That's why you're not doing anything. There we go. So we're helping him out here by giving him some fully grown things. But as you can see, he picks them up. He will actually rip the plant out of the ground and replant it for us, and then those carrots will be in his inventory. When he sees basically a hungry villager, so that's this villager over here, he is eventually going to walk over to him and try to toss those carrots to his villager friend here. Maybe he's going to do it right here live. Are you going to do it for me? No, you're not. Because you're a jerk. And then when he tosses those to that villager, these hopper mine carts are in the way, so they end up picking up those items that are flying through the air, and then they deposit them underground. So as we can see right here, he's been going for about 45 minutes-ish. Already we have about 2.5 stacks of carrots for us. So that works with each one of these farms. There is a different output depending on what you put into the farm. So right here we have potatoes, and obviously we're going to get potatoes as an output. But potatoes will eventually run into a problem that the villager also ends up picking up poisonous potatoes, and the villager does not have a big inventory space. They have about, I think it's just about as many as the hopper. So they have like 5 inventory, maybe 7 inventory spaces. Let me look this up. 8 slots. 8 slots is the answer. The villagers have 8 slots of inventory. So they will pick up eventually, they'll pick up like 4 stacks of, say, poisonous potatoes, and they won't be able to pick up any more. So eventually those poisonous potatoes will just hang out on the ground, but you will have a villager that has a whole bunch of poisonous potatoes in his inventory, making him a little bit less efficient. Potatoes should be no big deal. Carrots are nice because you plant carrots, you pick up carrots. There's no poisonous variety. You're always going to have carrots. That's nice. Beetroot, well, you have the beetroot seeds and the beetroot itself. So you will input beetroot seeds. You'll basically give beetroot seeds to that villager, and he's only ever going to give you beetroots as the result. He's never going to give you beetroot seeds as a output. Now, wheat is very interesting, and I'm saving it for last because there is a little bit of a caveat that I have to say as of recording this video. But with wheat, you give wheat seeds, or just plain old seeds, to the villager. He will plant those and then harvest wheat. The wheat stays in the villager's inventory until it is converted into bread when he hands it off to the next villager. But there is a bug right now with 1.15. I'm currently recording 1.15.1, so you can see that my chests are empty here with the wheat, and that is because this villager will have all of the wheat still in his inventory. So here I have a little command right here. Boop. And actually, I'm accidentally looking at that guy. No, I don't want to look at you. Bam. There we go. So right up here, it'll say farmer. Farmer has the following inventory, and if we look very down here at the bottom, you can see his inventory, wheat seeds. He's got 64 of them. Actual wheat, 64. Wheat seeds, 64. Wheat seeds, 64. Wheat, 64. Wheat, 57, and wheat seeds, 57. So he is full on wheat. He is, for whatever reason, there's a bug that he is not converting that wheat into bread and then throwing it to his friend over here. So that is just a bug. So as of 1.15.1, the wheat farm not so good. Also, you want to keep in mind, what is the output going to be? It's going to be bread. So you're never going to get wheat as the output for, say, breeding sheep or cows or something like that. You're only going to get bread as the output, and that's not nearly as useful as just straight up wheat. So maybe this farm in general is something that you are not going to want to make. Potatoes, those are useful for food. Carrots, also useful for food, especially golden carrots if you have a gold farm. And beetroot, not really nearly as useful. That one, you could make some soup, but that one's not super useful as well. So most people are going to stick with either potatoes or carrots whenever they are making their farm. I really love carrots because there's no poisonous carrots, and so they don't kind of jam up the works there. So how do you make this farm for yourself? Well, I have right here. This is everything that you need. I think I counted the building blocks and glass blocks appropriately. So this is all true as to what you need. And then when it comes to the food, you need basically 80 pieces of food. You're going to be making a 9x9 area in your farm here. And you may, do the math. Well, that's 81. Well, one of those is going to be the water source block. So you'll only need 80 of whatever type of crop that you are going to be making. So I'm going to use some some magic here to grab everything that we need, and let's go ahead and start building. I'm actually going to switch into creative mode, or into survival mode. There we go. So just make sure you find a nice area to start building in, and then you'll need at least, I would say 10 blocks on either side. So, 10 by 10 is the area. And then go ahead and place down your water first. Then you can start making your cropland. And this, you're just going to go out 4 in every direction from that water. And that is basically the square that you're going to be working with. If you go out 5, this will not get watered. So it'll eventually become dirt again and turn back into grass. So that is pointless. Unless if you have another water source in order to keep that hydrated. But I find that this amount of space is the perfect amount of space for this build. Now, you do need to put the composter directly over this water block. So what I tend to do is just place down a block there and then put it on the side of that. And then you can pick that block up and boop, there you go. Then it is back to farmland. Now it's time to make our walls, and you are going to have one little area for the villager to eventually hang out in. And so we are going to want to dig up an entire piece right here, put down your hopper and make sure that it's facing into that bottom block right there. Pick up the next 2 pieces behind that, and you're going to take your slabs and put them right there. That way, when we put a chest underneath, the chest will be able to open correctly. So now, in order to build the walls, we're just going to fill in all of that area, and then all the way back here as well, eventually for our other villager, our unwitting victim villager, to hang out. And I forgot to give myself a pick, so I'm going to be very careful so that I don't have to break any of these blocks. And this can be really any building block at all. I like to use iron whenever I'm making a tutorial because it has nice defined edges, so you can easily see what's going on there. With this last block that you have, go ahead and place it on top of your composter. That'll make sure that your villager doesn't accidentally jump onto the top of it and then fall off, creating dead areas, dead zones right here, because he will untill this farmland if he ends up doing that. Next, we're going to switch to glass, and glass is going to go all the way around the edge. Again, it doesn't have to be glass. I like glass because I like to be able to look in and see what's going on there with your villager, and it could be a solid block if you don't want to go through the process of getting the sand and furnacing it up to make it glass. That's never fun. Now it is time to put in the torches, and so I'm gonna just go fall in here, and I like to put a torch. This is a little bit of overkill on the torches, but I find that this looks quite nice. I go 2 blocks and then put a torch, and so your torches will end up looking sort of like that on every single side, and then also filling in the center area, which I already did Oops, that was not where I meant to go. And where's my torch? There it is. Boop. There you go. So that's going to be plenty of light so that nothing will spawn in here, especially when we have a roof with another layer on top of this. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Now, we are going to create little stalls for our villagers to hang out in. And you're going to be using your hopper minecarts. One thing that I may have needed to add to the list, which I'll just go ahead and give myself right now, is you do need a rail. So any type of rail will do. First, first you're going to put down just a block that you're about ready to break, so a temporary block. Put your hopper minecart right there, and then go ahead and break that block, and your hopper minecart will fall. Then you're going to take your trapdoor, slap it onto that block right there, and go ahead and open it. That is so that your next hopper minecart will rest on that block right there, and it also won't get in the way of any items kind of flowing through. So now we're going to put back down our temporary block. Our rail is probably in the hopper below. You're going to eventually go ahead and make a pathway down here so that you can get to the chest. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see my hopper right there. I really should have given myself a shovel and a pick before I started all this. But there we go. So now we can get our rail back. This is kind of what I've created here at 3 at the beginning. Just anyway, you can see that. So let's go ahead and throw that rail back down. Throw the hopper minecart on top of that. Break it. He will fall. Then we're going to take our trapdoor and keep that one open. Keep that one in that position. That way, when we eventually place our villager right here, he will not be able to walk through to get to the other side because he's exactly 2 blocks tall, and that little trapdoor will make sure that he cannot transfer between the 2 sides. Now it is time to get our villagers inside of this area. That, if you're in survival mode, is going to be the most difficult part of this. I normally would try to make this near a village or have villagers already nearby, put them into a boat or into a minecart, and then get them to get inside that way. So either you could open up a hole, boat in, and then your villagers in there, and you can break the boat. Same thing over here. Get it really close. You could break it and then push the villager in with your body to get them inside of there. I am not going to show how to do that. I will give you one tip on this, is that you should always get your villager that you want to be the farmer in first, because they are going to eventually see that composter block and turn into a farmer. And if you put your villager in here first, he sees the composter block and becomes a farmer. Well, you're gonna have to switch them out because, or break the composter and then put it back down and hope that this guy in the center becomes the farmer. Because the guy in the center needs to become the farmer. This guy over here doesn't matter what his job is. Now it would be to clear out this area, and we are going to put our chests in this area. So I'm just going to make sure that right underneath those slabs we have an open area. Grab our chests and place them inside of there. Then take the last of our hoppers and place them pointing into each of those chests. That bottom chest will fill up first, and then the top chest will fill up. And you can look at our inventory. We're running low on things. We've already used up all of those. And now it's time to actually give carrots to our farmer here. And you can literally just throw them on the ground if you don't want to go through the process of filling this all up with your carrots. Yeah, make sure that he actually picks them up. And he's gonna, now that they're in his inventory, he will actually go ahead and plant them, right? We're gonna go ahead and plant those. Did you do it? There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. So you don't actually have to plant them if you don't want to get trapped inside of there with your villager. Now, I did mention that this is tileable. So we have carrots now on this level. If we wanted to build another level, what would we do? Well, these are the required components for that. So you're going to need your dirt. You're also going to need your hoe, but I'm assuming that you already have that. So dirt to make another layer of farmland, some water, and then all of these things. So let's go ahead and start making that. I have an extra chest just because all that stuff was stored in there. And I may have a little bit extra of dirt because I kept all the dirt from making this earlier. So now we are going to start by putting down our farmland. So all we're going to do is in this center area where we have the farmland below, we're gonna put all the dirt in here, and that will eventually become our farmland. You can keep that center block open because we're going to put water in there. So right on top of that iron block, we're eventually going to put water. So you can just keep that open. No need to worry about that. There we go. All of our dirt is down. I seem to remember having about 25 pieces of dirt earlier. Go ahead and put our water in the center, and now you're going to make this all farmland once again. Before we get too crazy, I always forget that we need to put the composter right there in the middle. So we're going to put down a temporary block, put down our composter, destroy the temporary block. That way we won't have to re-till that farmland. Okie dokie, now it's time for some solid block placement. We're gonna put down a block on top of the composter right there. We're gonna make a whole bunch of blocks on either side, and we're gonna, fill out the edges. But right here where this villager will eventually go, we're gonna take a hopper and we're gonna place this just right there. So it's a nice solid base. And then we're gonna take our iron and put it right here for our villager to stand on. So now let's fill out this edge. I did the thing that I said that I was hoping not to do. I placed a block that I didn't have a pick to break. Okay, there we go. So now we have our edge. Now we can continue on and make this a nice little wall. You could make this out of glass if you wanted to. You can make, I mean, really all these blocks are up to you. As long as they are solid and you're not going to run into any issues with the villagers escaping. Oh, I did it again. I did it again. And we can also place down our solid blocks over here. There we go. And I think I miscounted. I have one extra solid block, possibly in my counting. I did it all wrong. Once again, getting the villagers up here is going to be probably the most difficult part of the process, because now we are dealing with another story of all of this. And so you would have to get them close and then basically use minecarts. Minecarts are the easiest way to get villagers upwards in an upwards direction, so you can actually fit them inside of here. Now we are going to put down our torches, and the exact same situation. I'm going to run over here so I don't break any of my farmland, and place down all your torches. We are going to put down our hopper minecarts again, so just put that down, break the block, grab your whoops, I did that incorrect. That is at the wrong location, and this hopper minecart is going to try to... Oh, no! Oh, gosh. Okay. The hopper minecart went into the hopper, and hopefully this won't go into the hopper either. Grab it! Yes. Okay, good. I have it. I'll need one more hopper minecart. Either that or I'll have to go down there and grab it and make it. Here, let's just do that. Should be down here. Hello. I need you. There we go. Yay. I have my hopper minecart back. I'm also going to grab my rail. Come back, rail. I have rail right here, too, for some reason. Good. Glad I got my rail back. He's stealing... This farm steals your stuff, and it would be really great if I had scaffolding, but I don't. Okay. Place down our rail. Put our hopper minecart on that. It's going to fall. We're going to take our trapdoor, place it right there, and open it. This is all the same stuff from the first level, and we're just going to open that and then make sure that you have your trapdoor and keep that one in that position so that the villager can't get out. And apparently I somehow broke this at some point. There we go. I broke this at some point. Oh, no. There we go. So now we got our villager. The villager below, he may be a farmer villager now, because I placed that down. He may have had access to look at that. Did you look at that? Did you? Okay, good. No, he didn't. So now we have our farmer. We're going to have our guy who's always starving. And now we can give this guy something else. So he does not have to be carrots. So if we wanted to, we could give ourselves some potatoes. There we go. Got some potatoes for this guy. I'm going to try to actually aim and hit his inventory a little bit better than I did before. There we go. 1, 2. Oh my gosh. Sir, your potatoes are on the ground. There we go. And that's totally fine if he has a different item than the guy below him. Now we can break all of this and go see what's going down on the first level. He's almost finished making all of his crops planted right there. And these guys should still be starving. Let's see. I bet that there's stuff in here from when I was putting down the rails and stuff, but everything should work just fine. So what'll happen is he'll throw his stuff over to these hopper minecarts, and that'll just go down the entire line all the way into all of this inventory. And you can keep stacking this type of farm on top of each other over and over and over, and have many, many layers, have many, many different types. You know, you can have all 4 different types, except for wait until they actually fix that bug. But you can have all of those on top of each other so that you could get all of the plants. Or if you wanted, say, a lot of potatoes or a lot of carrots, then you can use this over and over and over again to generate those over time. The workers and the villagers do sort of have a schedule still, so at night things won't grow as fast, so it may slow down at night, and but other than that, they tend to work kind of all the time. There's sort of like a conversation time during the day, so they may stop to do that. So sometimes it can be a little inconvenient based off of the time of the day, but other than that, it should be working, you know, fairly all the time, pretty much all the time, in order for you to get a whole bunch of stuff. And you can see that my villager over here, he can't even pick up that wheat because his inventory is completely full. Gosh darn you! And there you have it, the automatic villager farm. I will be honest, I have seen this type of farm around a lot, and I do not know who the original creator of this farm is. So thank you, whoever originally created this farm. I absolutely love it. I'm so sorry that I don't know who to actually thank to give real credit for this farm. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMGcraft. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMGcraft. And I'll see you next time on OMGcraft. Bye!